welcome back. I know it's been a couple of weeks. There was going to be a video last week, but to be honest, there wasn't really a lot to film. So we've got these are cauliflowers all year round, and they've sort of been left at the back of the greenhouse and forgotten about. So I think I better get these in some other pots. Now they're very dry, all bunched up and all sorts in there. And we're just going to put them in the first stage of the potting on. They're going to go into these small pots, but they will go into a bigger one if they take. Now, just using normal compost, nothing special. And I'm going to do 15. Now, I'm going to sow a few more in a couple of weeks' time. But cauliflowers are sort of a bit of a hit and miss with me. About 2 years ago, I think it was, they done very well. I think last year I got one, I think. So I do lots and lots on the grounds that I may get 2 or 3 good ones. Now, I don't know about you, but compost this year, I haven't bought any yet, and I don't really know what to go for. Have you bought your compost yet? And I'm making a mess of this, aren't I? Have you got your compost yet? And have you gone for the same compost you do every year, or have you gone for something a little bit different? Now, I've been looking online, because I've been looking at this clover. Now, everyone seems to say it's really good, and it's like the compost's meant to be. You know, no bits, twigs, sticks and such like. But I'm always sceptical about buying compost online. I'm one of these that likes to actually go into the shop and see what you're buying. And I don't know if anyone else does this, or is it just me? When no one's looking, just tear the side of the bag open and just have a little feel inside, just to give you an idea of what's in there, and try not to get caught by the shop staff. So yeah, compost online, I don't know. It's a little bit more expensive, obviously, because you've got to pay for delivery and such like. And a lot of companies, they have like a minimum order. You've got to buy sort of like 10 bags or 15 bags, which, to be fair, it will always get used. But it is just the initial outlay. Now, of all the varieties of the tomatoes that I sowed earlier on, we had about, I think it was 5 or 6 varieties that didn't germinate. So I've re-sowed them. But all the rest have all germinated, and they're all coming on really well. We've had to get these out of the pots that I actually sowed them in. They're still indoors because they were getting a little bit big and they was getting a bit too close to the little light. So we've started potting these on. Got 10 there. I've got another 15 over there. So that's 25 so far. That's good. Now the peppers. Now, for everyone that watched the video, they know how many varieties I sowed. And I sowed the majority of them in compost. None of them have germinated. Not even one has poked his head through. So I've re-sown again. But I've re-sown in the same pots, just in case. I mean, they've only been in there a month, so they might take a bit longer to come through. But I've put another sowing on the top, and we'll see what happens with them. But if you remember, I did sow some in these rock wall little modules. I've left them in the tray of water And lo and behold, we have peppers. Only 3, mind, but it's a pepper. And if we look in there, we can see a little bit of sprouting going on. So with a bit of luck, we may get full germination on these. But it makes you wonder if this rock wool stuff is the way forward and going to replace compost in the future. But I'm definitely going to be using these again. And now, as far as the ginger's concerned that we put in a good few months ago now, there's nothing happening at all under there. And the same with the sweet potato. I thought we might have had a little shoot starting or something, but in our little trial that we're doing with them, nothing's happened in the trays. And the 2 that I've got in the pint glasses indoors in water, they're not doing anything either. So, but it says it takes up to 3 months, so we'll leave them and see what happens. The herbs down there not doing too bad. They're starting to come through. So yeah, things are starting to look up. The nights are getting a little bit warmer. They're not as cold as they have been. We've had some nice weather this week as well, which is good. But no doubt that will change in the next 7-10 days. So yeah, I think spring is here. And it actually feels like spring. It's the feeling that things are starting to move on and things are starting to happen, which is always good. Now out in the garden, we've made a start with the pots, getting them all ready for the chilies when they grow. You've got to be optimistic, haven't you? We've also started clearing some of this, digging it over, although I still have a long way to go down there. But I do a little bit and do it often. We've also managed to get round the pond done, so that's all ready for flowers. The pond is now redone. We've got a new pump and we have fish. There's actually 4 fish in there. So I'm very pleased with that. Now you're probably wondering why I'm showing what the hell fish has got to do with gardening. Well, what the fish come in when we got them was this. Now I think this is going to make an ideal carrot tank over the plot, or parsnips, one or the other, because as we know you can't plant carrots next to parsnips because they share the same diseases. But yeah, I think carrots or parsnips, unless anyone else has got an idea of what I can use that for over the plot. Now if anyone knows what this plant is, pop a comment down below, let us know. I bought this, was it beginning of last year, and it sat there, didn't do anything all year. And to be fair, I mean, I got it from Wilco's just before they shut down. And I was in 2 minds about digging it up. But all of a sudden this year, it started coming into bloom. We've got some buds up the top coming on. But yeah, for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. So if you've got any ideas of what it might be, or if you know what it is, let us know down below. And it's also nice to see the tulips coming up at last. Look at the colours on them. Now, last November, we sowed some carrots. Now, wrong time of year, I know. But they've sat in this pot at the back of the greenhouse on the floor for most of the winter. And the last couple of weeks, we've just put them outside. And they seem to be, they're fair to be doing pretty well. Now, I've had a little root round the top and we've actually got a carrot. Now, I can't remember what variety it was that we put in. It was just something on spur of the moment. So we're going to pull these and see if we've actually got anything under there. Well, well. Our first little baby carrot. I might as well have them all up, mightn't I? See if it gets any better. So this goes to show that you can actually sow carrots any time of year. Nah, not so good, that one. So I think I'll definitely be trying this again. Yeah, they're not big carrots. They may have been the small variety that I put in. Them little, what do they call them, Chardonnay carrots. Well, they have grown to a degree. Well, that one hasn't anyway. Get these last two out. But one thing I have noticed though, they're very pale. I wonder why that is. I'll have to have a little look online, find out why they're pale. But yeah, that's not bad. One little pot. We've got a bonus weed as well. Now I'm going to be starting off my leeks. I'm doing two varieties this year. I'm doing Musselburgh and Elephant leeks. Now, I used to do them in January, like it said on the packet, middle of January, but I don't seem to have a lot of luck with them doing them that early. So I've left it till March. Hopefully I'll have better luck. And I'm just going to sow them liberally in a pot and then pick them out. But on top of that, I'm going to put vermiculite and not compost. I hope the weather starts to turn a little bit because the ground's still a bit boggy, and I do need to get over the plot and check the onions and the garlic because that hasn't been looked at since Christmas. So them beds are probably full of weeds by now. So anyway, thanks for joining us, and I will catch up with you hopefully next week. Take care everyone. Bye-bye for now.